When I first started watercolor, I had painted for about a year, and I wanted something that would make me paint more. So I came up with a membership called ArtSpark, and I'm going to show you what is included in ArtSpark, and there is a lot of different things. So there was a prompt every month, there was a sketchbook, there was color, there was also mixed media projects. All the painting in here is done with watercolor, and I used a lot of graphite as well. So if you want to learn to sketch or draw or understand values a little bit more, I use a lot of graphite for that. So one of the things that I did was, the prompt was to get you thinking outside the box. The prompt for the first piece was circle. So I want you to think, how many things are a circle, or what do you think of for the word circle? And I wrote things here. So I wrote the letter O, the number O, a compass, a washer, a marble, billiards, donuts, coins, tokens, inner tube, pocket watch, leaves, gears, tinker toys, a spinner, a magnifying glass, tires, wheels, apple, orange, sunflower, ball, nest, or cotton. So that's what all of this was inspired by, the word circle. So within the month here, what I did was I added circles. So I let this process kind of take me all month long because I didn't want to overwhelm myself. So the first thing I did was add the little heart-shaped leaves, or the circles there. And then I added some dark circles here and some circles with a compass to just give me some circle backgrounds. And then I started playing with color. So here I just washed on color all over and added some dark green in there while it was wet. I was just trying to play and understand what watercolor did for me. That was the whole point of ArtSpark, is to get you thinking in different ways and for me to try different things without feeling a lot of pressure. You'll notice I'm not even splashing here. I didn't know about splashing because no one else was doing splashing. It was a texture that I discovered on my own. You'll see that I used some mixed media here. So this is like a piece of vintage paper. I used an old stamp. Let me bring that up closer so you can see. I've drawn a washer here. I've just shaded a circle. Here I have a Viewmaster. Here was a charm that I love. I have eucalyptus leaves. I have a little tag. This was part of the month. This was an ongoing thing for me. Whenever I had a few couple moments and I felt like working in my art studio, I came and I worked on this page. Now there's another component to the month, and that is a color chart. So this was a way for me to start understanding what my palette of watercolors had for me. Within the circle here, I picked one color. So every month I just pick a color, and the idea is for you to go to your palette, see what you can mix or what you have, and explore that color. So this was green. And by looking at this, I was like, what kind of ideas come to this palette of green? So I wrote over here, green ideas. My ideas are springtime, grass, leaves, apples, pears, tomatoes, green beans, peas, money, paint, stamps, color chip, pencil, marker, crayons, nature, trees, pond, duckweed, water lettuce, tree leaves, flower leaves, hostas, and hydrangeas. So that's what green here I thought of. And then here's when I started thinking about greens. And so I added a green bean and some peas here. Remember, part of this journey is drawing a little bit more too, so just sketching. So there's my green bean, there's my peas, and then I found a green stamp. So I wanted to add that to the page as well. And this is done in a traveler's notebook. This one is a handmade sketchbook that I teach you how to make in the class. Oh, there's more. Because I enjoyed doing the peas so much, I thought of, okay, green circles, let's look at peas. So this is a little folio that comes with paper in it. And so these were my peas. I started with circles. I just flooded it with color and then went in and found deeper shapes. So I added the brighter green, I added the more olive green, and then I added that really deep, rich green in there. And then I went around here. Again, I added some words, just what they meant to me. Peas are one of my favorite vegetables. And so this was an exploration of the green, but then also of the circles. So you can see how they're kind of building on one another. Then I also have, every month we did some kind of cutout. It could be flowers one month, it could be circles. I believe I did circles, so let's see. I painted a bunch of paper and I cut out different circles. I love the eucalyptus here, so I painted eucalyptus on a vintage sheet of paper. Here's some more circles. So you can see how it's building and building and building. And sometimes there was a project, if there wasn't like a illustrative piece like this, then there was a decorative piece. So each month has a color prompt, a sketchbook, some kind of either a illustrative or a collage type project, and every month has some kind of painted cutout. Some are done on different kind of papers. I didn't really use a lot of watercolor paper. I was using book pages and vintage ledgers because that's what I collect a lot of. This was a membership course that I really, really loved. It started November 2020 and it went through something 2022. So let me show you my sketchbook here. Everything you see is what we did together in the membership. We draw together. I teach you how to draw. February was hearts. And then we've got colors. I've filled a whole notebook with colors. And each one has a color page, what I think of the colors, and then some kind of object that I had written down here I tried to draw. Again, it's exploring your color palette. What colors you have. Layering. And from this was my first book. From there, then I went to a second sketchbook, and that I went to the Stillman and Birn. So this is the Stillman Birn Beta series. And this was from November 21 to July 22nd. Same premise, only I was working in the sketchbook now. Instead of the Traveler's Notebook and the other sketchbook, I put it all into the one sketchbook. So here was my monthly page. Here was my colors, here was my ideas, and then here was what I created from that. It is so full of different techniques, and it's me learning with you, which is really, really fun. I had a blast learning how to do stuff, trying new stuff out. Some things worked, some things didn't. But it's the process. I think that's part of being an artist. can see there's a lot of content in here. Look how cool that is. And that was the end of that sketchbook. We also did little drawings. So here I was stamping, and I just put a leaf, cut it out. This is where we used some of our cutouts and created a collage. I tried to create a collage in every month or a painting. So this was an apple pie recipe. Here we were using found headlines. And then the peas. Then we also had different kind of ephemera projects using up just ephemera that we have. So this was just a little booklet. I used different kind of papers. Sometimes I painted on them, sometimes I didn't, but they're great for sending as gifts. This was like a little matchbook that you could paint on the papers if you wanted. This was a little fold-out book using playing cards. But imagine sending this to your friend, the little watercolor set. She would love that. Here was using library cards. And we just used different papers, stickers. Here was one where we used the cutouts here. And then we made a little waterfall with color at the edges so that we could send this to your artist friends. And then the cutouts. There are so many cutouts in this course. I've given a lot of mine away and sent them to friends. So bear with me here while I try to find us some to look at. We made hand cards, so created our own cards. We painted some Easter peeps. Little flower bouquets. We used resist, so think of a crayon or a water resist crayon. Flowers of all different kinds. Some more peeps. Painting a card that looks like a button card. Christmas cookies. Here's a eucalyptus. Here's a pine branch. You can see it just goes on and on and on. There were game pieces and little tags. Look how cute those are, little charms. Here's some game pieces. Here's some charms. We did some bugs. Did some different kinds of beetles. We did a little leaf book. Look how cute that is. There was just so much that we did. We tried just making a mess on paper and cutting them into interesting shapes to use in something. Again, more game pieces. Another beetle. Here I had a lotto card that I created those. Aren't they charming? Got some Christmas, some more florals. Here's a little Christmas. Got some berries, got some florals. Got some brighter florals. I've got art supplies. I did a whole little thing about art supplies, so cute. So there is so much content, 21 months of content inside of this course. ArtSpark will be available at a special discount price through the end of June. There is so much content inside here with the prompts, the monthly sketchbook, the cutouts, the illustrative or collage items, the color charts. You're just gonna love it. It is a lot to play with, but it also teaches you a lot of different techniques that maybe you're not aware of. It was really just having fun with what we had, which was paint, paper, and a pencil, and you were good to go. So I hope that you will join me for Art Spark. It is one of the most playful classes I have ever created, and I loved every minute of it. You can find the Teachable link in my video description box, and I hope to see you there. Thanks so much for watching.